Hey guys, this is Thigh Company here. Welcome everybody to today's live stream. Today is December 28th, 2023. Welcome everybody to today's show. Topic of today is going to be a story of a recent thing that happened with my dad, of him falling or he fell, if that makes any sense. But uh, I'm going to tell you all kind of that story and also cover a couple other things as well. So, first thing, today is going to be kind of like the last day. I got to wear this like heart monitor thing here, kind of a crazy thing to be wearing. Uh, Anyhow, it's basically like they want to check and see if I have any weird like things going on in my heart, just like arrhythmia or like a weird like heartbeat or something like that that's going on. They just want to be sure and check everything is going right. Um, so what they're so tomorrow I get to like ship all that back to the post office and to the doctor's office and all that. So here's what's going on basically with my dad and his story. So I got a phone call, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that he had apparently fell. Like he fell, and this was at the place where he's at right now. So that's like that senior center slash what he likes to adult assisting living facility, or like something, some kind of fancy word for a retirement center, basically, right? um Retirement center slash nursing home slash this and that, places where uh, things like that go on. And he walked to, from my understanding, it's like a recreational room slash like game room. um and I don't know, like, if he was going to go meet somebody or play like card games or board games or whatever. And so somewhere in that process of him going over there or walking over there, and give you all a little bit more of a heads up, he also walks, from my understanding, with a cane. And he also has uh, kind of like a illness called neuropathy, and it's in his legs. So, and I don't know if it's a genetic thing or what exactly, but he and I think one or two other people I can think of in a family have this condition where they apparently lose sensation in their legs. um and it varies depending on like the age and who it is, I guess, and what their background is. And essentially, from my understanding, like if you have a healthy diet, it's not as bad compared to if you have an unhealthy diet, and it's like years and decades of like stuff that happens like it leads up to it. And I think it's just like a lot of bad care or lack of exercise or just a bunch of like long periods of time versus it being genetic. And the genetic idea is that basically, oh, you're born with this, you can't do a thing with this, and you have to live with this, which is not necessarily true. I think it depends on like, a lot of different factors. But in his case, from my understanding, it's like affecting his knees lower. Kind of like he gets weird sensations or tingles in his legs. And essentially, I think he has this thing where he walks and he doesn't like sense how he's walking, and he feels like he's walking on stilts. And what I've, from my understanding, and this is talking to that lady he's living with, she explained to me that he was walking and he somehow fell. I don't know if he tripped and fell or if he was sitting and he fell off of his seat, but he had fallen, and she told me that he hit his head on a chair, and then from the chair he hit his head on the floor. And I see you Chapa's in chat. Welcome, you Maynard slash Chapa. Yeah, big L to him. Yeah, he like hit his head on the chair, and then from there he hit his head onto the floor, which from my understanding is a hardwood floor. And the lady went over there, and a bunch of old like grannies apparently went over there to see what he was doing. And um, apparently he was like bleeding from the back of his head. And this old lady like went over to get a bunch of like paper, those napkins or whatever that old ladies tend to have for like to blow your nose type of thing. They took a bunch of that and they put it behind his head, and I think one person was like pressing against it to act as a compression towards that injury. And then they're like, oh, we called the and this lady who lives with him, and she's an older lady, she tells me that, oh, we called a nice fire, they call it not firefighters, they're like firemen or something. She called it like, she gave it a weird name, like, oh, we called the nice fire people over there from across the street. And it was kind of like a funny name for firefighters. They came over, and then paramedics, and, emergency services and all that. They took him to the hospital, get checked up. They did a CT scan and they didn't find anything. He felt fine, and they sent him back to where he was before. And when I had called and learned about what happened, he had already returned back home. So, and she said that he was only there for a few hours, so like 4 or 5 hours at the hospital getting checked up in the emergency department. And he said he felt fine. He had no complaints. But the problem is that whenever something like that happens, or if he has an injury, or he gets sick of an illness or disease, or, basically something negative occurs with him, he doesn't want to talk to anybody about it. To him, it's embarrassing. Which I'm not entirely sure why, if this is like supposed to show somebody like as a weakness or something. I don't really get the idea of that. All right, Humane says, get on Discord. Get on Discord, Poppy. All right, let me pull up Discord and see if it will go open here. It's pulling up right now, and it's loading the page. But yeah, I don't understand, why would he have this sharing, like an accident essentially with his other family? And why does a stranger, have to tell us this information? I find that very strange. All right, Humane, I'm on Discord, but you're offline. Let me text you right quick and see if you'll answer. And I have my sound on, so I should get a notification when you call. But yeah, like, he didn't want to talk about it. And I was like, well, okay, so I guess this is a sensitive matter to him. So what does this mean? Like, I'm like, okay, so you fell, hit your head, and you had an injury. They cleared you, go back home, and now you're basically recovering from the injury, and you're fine. And now you don't want to talk about it or do anything, which makes me think that something weird was going on. All right, Humane says, I am in my basement. Okay, what you doing in your basement, Humane? You're doing your laundry again, or what's going on there? All right, I texted you twice, sent you 2 messages on Discord, Humane. All right. But yeah, he didn't want to talk about any of that. And what's interesting is that lady was talking to me that, oh, he doesn't like to talk about those type of things. And I don't know if I should be concerned and worried about that, because it's sort of like, somebody, I almost feel like, oh, if he has to, let's say, go to a doctor to get surgery, or he gets diagnosed with, let's say, a terminal illness, I feel like he would be the type of person to be like, I'm not going to tell nobody about it, or I'm not going to tell anyone that I need help so I can cure it, like an illness or something. All right, Humane says his Discord is not working. Why is your Discord not working, Humane? Yeah, it still says you're offline. I can see Rooster is offline as well. Do you want me to try to call you on Discord, you mean? Would that help you? So I guess the issue here is that, one, he doesn't want to communicate any, like, when something like that happens. So what I'm wondering is, two different options, because I know he was in the process of being transferred to a different section of that living area that he's in. And I think he was like in a general, what they call general population, or like regular people stay at, and they want to transfer him out of there into like a memory care department or section or specialty, whatever you want to name it, which is fine. And we had months. We had a talk with the rest of the family regarding that, or his side of the family rather, and it's kind of a whole crazy story because my sister was like, "Oh, you need to do something." All right, I see Alex is online. Alex is texting me. Alex says, "Oh, hi. Sorry, I was doing something." Hello, how's it going? All right, Alex is online. So yeah, like my sister wanted him to get out of that place because she didn't feel that he was in a completely safe and comfortable environment, which I was kind of like on board to have him moved somewhere so it would be easier on him. But he didn't want to. Well, it was sort of like a back and forth verbal argument where like he didn't want to do anything, and it's unclear if he was just being lazy or just doesn't like change, or what's the reason and motivation behind him not wanting to do anything, and just basically him staying at the position where he was at, one end, and then another, one idea that he had in his mind versus the other one, with because he lived with this lady who was sort of like a caretaker slash neighbor, and she's not really like a major caretaker, I would say, other than she kind of helps like coordinate things with him every now and then. But in case for like major emergencies, like I think 2 or 3 times she went with him to like a hospital, get checked up when something crazy happens. All right, Alex says I'm doing all right. Should I try to talk to Alex? All right, Yumaine, so I'm not getting any answers from you, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to keep talking here and kind of wrap up the story, and then try to maybe go into another live stream talking with Alex, perhaps. All right, so yeah, basically, regarding my dad, where we're at right now, the plan is either we move him to this like memory care section, which is more with what the rest of the family wants for him. So he's away from this lady who's like a caretaker or acts as a caretaker, even though she's not affiliated with that facility. She's just like a third party, essentially. And so that was the plan. The other plan, like a better plan, would be probably to have him move up to Charlotte, but I don't know if that's going to be done or not in the current situation of where he's at now. And so it's kind of a tricky situation where you have to guess, what's better. And I think him moving into the memory care section would be better. Yumaine just texted here. He says he doesn't answer. What do you mean? He don't answer all of our calls. Join. What do you mean by that, Yumaine? You saying Alex doesn't answer the like requests to call him, or like incoming calls, or what do you mean by that, Yumaine? And Alex just sent me a text message of a squirrel or a chipmunk or something. I don't know why he did that. That's weird. So yeah, I guess eventually I'm gonna try to this come 2024, I'm going to try to push to get him to get up here to Charlotte. I think long term that perhaps would be better, because this way I can have sort of my care or my observation plus my sister's observation, versus what he's at now. He basically is by himself and this like lady's taking care of him, versus if he's in Charlotte, I know I could set up like home health to come to see him. So that's kind of like a tricky thing of where we're at right now. But yeah, guys, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up or like the video. Comment down below what you would like to see for future videos. And hopefully by the end of the year, we can get to 1,100 subscribers. It's kind of a stretch right now because we're at like 1,040. So we need like 60 more subs. But yeah, you never know. Maybe something might start getting views, and we'll see how things go from there. And I'll give Alex a call right now, see if he'll answer. But otherwise, guys, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all on the next live stream. And take care.